Hello Wargamers, it's me, Callum from Tabletop Banter. You might notice a change in setting, that's because I am home for the moment. Moved back from university a couple of weeks ago now, so this is my first recording at home. There'll probably be plenty more in the future. You can obviously see a couple of bits up there. A spare dev copter. So today's video is going to be a request, which might seem a bit strange, but yeah, it'll make sense once I explain it. I would like you to come and play me at Battle Reports. There are lots of reasons for this. I think involving the gaming community is a really important part of wargaming. It's the bit I love the most. I like that you always have something in common, and you're with like-minded people, and that's part of the reason I really enjoy it. As well as this, I would like to see new armies. If you go to a club, it's really easy to see the same ones over and over again. If you have friends who play, you see the same ones over and over again. So I think it would be really fun to see these new armies and make battle reports with them to then put out on the YouTube channel for people to see. So yeah, it's just a request for you guys to get in contact with me. This is possible on the Contact Us page on the Tabletop Banter blogspot. I will leave a link below to that page in case you wanted to email me. Or you can message me on Twitter at Tabletop Banter. I mean, I don't know why anyone hadn't taken that one before, but it came out alright. So I'm just going to go over today a few of the bits about this whole challenging me thing and coming down to play a battle report. So I'm going to start with this. It's a form. I've had to write a simple form as things are that kind of way nowadays where you need all this. You need forms apparently. So I did a little bit of research, put one together. And so you will have to, I'll email that to you and you'll have to fill that out. It doesn't need to be handed in until the day, so it's not like you have to worry about scanning it and faxing it or whatever. That doesn't matter. Just bring it on the day, or if not, fill it in on the day. The only thing I do ask is that I know your name and the army you're bringing and when you're coming, which you'll probably know by contacting me anyway. Obviously, I only have my Space Marines at the moment, but when I start to build up this Eldar project I'm putting together, then you'll be able to choose who you'd like to face for the Challenge Callum bat rep, and I'll get into that a bit more after I've just explained the rough overview. And optionally, just to make it much easier for me, if it's difficult to get hold of you or anything, a contact number would be helpful for on the day, just so I can say, or just so you can say, I'm here and I know it's you, or whatever, etc, etc. It just makes it much easier to keep a track of the day. In terms of what would actually happen on the day, as you'll obviously be spending a lot of time travelling, I presume, to come and play against me, it's important for me to get as much out of the day as possible so that you enjoy it as much as you can. So it would probably be a fairly early start. It doesn't have to be like the crack of dawn, but somewhere probably between 9 and 10 at the earliest. Before 12 would be ideal, so we can definitely get enough games in. And then you'd come in and I'd make you a tea or something. I'm a big fan of tea, so I'll probably offer a tea. We go up to where the table is and then play a 1,500 point game, which would be called a Challenge Callum Battle Report, just to get some kind of structure in on the day. So you start with 1,500 points. We'll probably then sort some lunch out. I'm a bit of a, well, I say I'm a dab hand in the kitchen. I know how to work a cooker, so it shouldn't be so much of a problem. And I'll provide that. And then after lunch, there will be time for another battle report. Now, depending on time, so depending on how early you are or how long the game takes, either another similar style battle report with the different lists, or preferably for me, but because this provides more variety, a smaller points game. So 500 to 750 of what I'm calling baby bat reps, which are just small, quick bat reps that people can watch if they want to learn how to play the game, except to make it more interesting to play, I've made like a little scenario booklet for these games with special rules and things like that. Just to spice it up a bit so that when you're playing against me for the second time in that day, it's not the same as the first, and it shouldn't be the same as anything you've played before, really, hopefully. So just to make it more interesting. And then at the end of that game, say our goodbyes. Now, I am going to try and set up a bits box thing. So if you bring bits with you that you don't want to have in your bits box anymore, then you can either donate them or swap them out for ones I have, which would be great, because then we could refresh it so that when the next person comes along, there are bits there for them to trade out as well. So it's just a little token thing you can do if you want. And then, yeah, hopefully you can come back and do another one some other time. It's not like you can only come once. You can come as many times as you like. The more armies or the different armies you bring, the better, although I know that it's difficult to transport armies safely sometimes. So don't see that as a worry too much if you can only bring the one at a time or whatever. Obviously, quick sort of legal notes. I don't like that you have to do this, but you do. You'd have to be 18 or older. And you would have to agree to letting me produce the content and me having the intellectual property of the content. But that's all in here. You can read it and we can discuss it and stuff. So I'm really transparent about stuff like that. I'm not trying to hide anything. There's no point trying to hide things from people in this tight-knit community, because you just get a bad name for it. I would rather we spoke about it first and then we could try and discuss stuff. That's always a good idea for me anyway. So just also on this form is a checklist of things you'll need to bring and things that I'll have at the table. So they'll be on that, and there's a quick guideline for miniatures as well, purely saying that it doesn't matter what gaming platform they're from as long as they're on the right scale bases, and it looks fairly recognisable as what you're fielding as. It doesn't have to be Games Workshop. That's the big... I don't like that about having to play in a Games Workshop shop sometimes. I don't like that you have to bring GW products, so I'm saying it doesn't have to be GW. It just has to be similar in style to the army that you're trying to field. So you can't say these Imperial Guardsmen are Tyranids, but you can say these guys that look a bit like Guardsmen are Guardsmen. Another thing I will request is that you strive to have your army as painted as possible. I only say this because it's more of a personal preference. I don't really like playing against unfinished armies too much. Obviously, mine might have the odd miniature that's not painted, but between 75 and obviously 100% painted is ideal for bat reps. I mean, I don't mind the odd unpainted miniature here or there, because I know it's a hobby and you should take your time, and there's no one rushing you. But that kind of number of painted models is ideal. The quality of paint, I do not mind. You can just slap it on and say, "Oh, I've painted it," and that'll be okay with me. It can be one or two colours, preferably more than one colour actually, come to think of it. 2 or 3 colours minimum, and then any level of quality, it really doesn't bother me. And also try and limit proxies. I know that can be difficult because there are some combinations you'll want to try, and I don't mind some, but if the whole army's completely proxied, that can be a little bit difficult sometimes. Just for bookkeeping, really, and it doesn't look quite as finished. So that mini rant over, if you like. I just thought it would be nice to set something up where I can get you guys involved, where I can produce battle reports for you to watch, and just it'll bring together this community we have at the moment. Not just the wargaming community, but also the tabletop banter community, because I like how quickly it's grown in the last 7-8 weeks. I just think that's amazing. I mean, I can't 1,650 followers last time I checked, which is awesome. And getting a few subscribers on YouTube now, which is nice as well. Obviously, it'd be great to keep that growing and try and get those views up and such, because I really want to see how far this can go. Not from a money-making perspective. I'm not interested in turning this into a business. I just want to see how far I can take it in my hobby. And it will probably keep me in the hobby longer because I have something to hold on to, something to really focus on. I think that's pretty much everything for today. I have discussed, obviously, all the things on this form, but if you email me for the form, then you can have another read of it and it'll be a bit more clear on there, I suppose. It's really just a plea for you to get in contact with me if you want to play a game. It does mean travelling to Swansea, which I know for some people might be difficult. But if you're willing to make the trip and you want to spend more than one day, that can be organised as well. I'll try and keep it very flexible for that, because at the end of the day, you're making the trip to come and see me. It's voluntary. You won't be paid or anything, and you're doing it for obviously the love of the game. So I want to make your experience as good as possible for when you if you choose to come down. So yeah, please get in contact with me. I'll leave a link in the description below to the Contact Us page on the blog. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below. Thanks for watching. It's been me, Callum, from Tabletop Banter. Have fun.